Okay. Uh, so as you are aware about the gas power cycles, Professor Surendra Singh Kachwa has already shared some video links with you. Okay, so I think you have gone through it. But still, before we start the numerical, we will start with the basic terminologies for the IC engine and the basic processes for the IC engine. So these are the terminologies of the IC engine. So first one is the bore. Now what is bore? An inside diameter of the cylinder is called as the bore. You can see over here a piston cylinder arrangement is shown. The inside diameter of the cylinder is called as the bore. We know that the piston reciprocates inside the cylinder. Okay, so we are having two extreme limits for the piston. One is on the cylinder side, cylinder end side, and while other one is on the opposite side. Okay, so when the piston reciprocates inside the cylinder, so these two extreme ends are called as top dead center and bottom dead center. Okay, so this piston, when this piston reaches the uppermost part, the position of that uppermost part is called as top dead center, whereas when the piston reaches the bottom part of the cylinder, that particular part is called as bottom dead center. And we know that this piston reciprocates inside this cylinder, so there will be some length through which it will reciprocate. So this length between the top dead center and the bottom dead center is called as the stroke length, or it is also called as stroke. We do have two different valves, that is the intake valve and the exhaust valve. In the intake valve, through the intake valve, the mixture of air and fuel will enter in case of the Otto cycle or in case of the petrol engine, and only the air will enter in case of diesel engine. Okay, next one is the displacement volume, that is this entire volume, okay, through which our piston reciprocates from top dead to bottom dead center is called as the displacement volume. Okay, this entire volume is called as the displacement volume. And we know that whenever the piston is at the top dead center, there will be some sufficient space which will be available over here. So this space is called as clearance volume. When the piston is at the top dead center, the volume between the cylinder head and the piston is called as the clearance volume. So these are the basic terms of IC engines. Now the next part is the working principle of IC engine. So there are basic four processes for the every cycle, every internal combustion engine cycles. First one is the suction, compression, combustion, and the exhaust. So during the suction process, mixture of air and fuel in case of petrol engine and only air in case of diesel engine is taken inside the cylinder. Over here you can see the inlet wall. So through this wall, the mixture of air and fuel or only air will enter inside this cylinder. So that is our first process, that is the suction. Second one is compression, that is whenever we introduce it, our piston is at the top bottom dead center. Now why compression is required? Second process is compression, because the aim of our engine is to burn the fuel. Okay, so to burn the fuel we need to increase its pressure and temperature. So for increasing the pressure and temperature, we need to compress that particular mixture. So that's why the second process is the compression. Now the compression will happen when the piston will move from bottom dead center to top dead center. Okay, so when it move from bottom to top, it will compress the gas or compress the gas and the fuel. Now the next one is the combustion. After getting the sufficient pressure and temperature of the fuel, we need to ignite it, we need to burn that. Okay, so the fuel will burn with the help of spark plug in case of petrol engine, and it will burn with the help of fuel injector, it will ignite with the help of fuel injector in case of the diesel engine. So the burning or the combustion of the fuel is our third process. Okay, that is called as the combustion. And what is the last process? Exhaust. As soon as these gases or as soon as this mixture of air and fuel burns, So it is obvious that it will push the piston in the downward direction. So that is our power stroke. Okay, but it will also create the exhaust gases, that is the burn gases, and we want to repeat these processes for the next cycle. So it is essential to remove these burn gases out of the cylinder. So that's why the fourth process is the exhaust process, that is the burn gases needs to be expelled out of the cylinder or expel out of the combustion chamber. So these are the four basic processes for every IC engine. Okay, with the help of diagrams you can see these four processes, that is the intake. So during this intake process your inlet valve will be open. You can see over here, that is it is open. So when it opens, the piston will move from top to bottom. The fresh charge will be introduced inside the cylinder. The next is compression, because our ultimate aim is to burn the fuel. So to burn the fuel, we need to increase its pressure and temperature. So that's why we need to compress it so that we can increase the pressure and temperature. So next process is the compression, then the power to ignite that fuel, then last one is the exhaust to expel out those exhaust gases out of the cylinder. Now we will discuss in short about the Otto cycle. So it is an ideal cycle which is used for the petrol engines, or it is also called as spark ignition engines. Okay, so during the first process, now in this case, we assume that the air fuel mixture is already present inside the cylinder. As it is an ideal cycle, so we assume that it is air fuel mixture is already present inside the cylinder. So this is our start of the first process. So our first process will be directly the compression process. So the first process is the compression, that is the piston will move from bottom dead center to top dead center. Now this compression takes place at the isentropic process. The compression takes place at isentropic process. You can see the two different graphs over here. One is the PV diagram, which is the real cycle, and this one is the ideal cycle. So this 1 to 2 process is isentropic compression. Okay, it is ideal isentropic compression, but in actual practice it is not exactly the isentropic compression. But why we assume it as an isentropic process? Because ultimately to do the analysis we need to get the, we require the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature. So for the isentropic process we know the relation between pressure, volume and temperature, and ultimately this 1 to 2 process is somewhat similar to that of the isentropic process. So that's why we assume that it is an isentropic process. Now we have compressed the air fuel mixture over here and our piston is at the top dead center. Now our second stroke is the addition, right? So second stroke is the heat addition. Now heat addition takes place at the constant volume for the Otto cycle. What is the meaning of heat addition? The spark plug. As soon as we compress it, what we will do? The spark plug will ignite the mixture. So as it ignites the mixture, it means that we can also call it as a heat addition process. Okay. So during this process 2 to 3, we are adding the heat. In short, we are igniting the mixture with the help of a spark plug. Now during this process, the volume is constant. Now we can see that initially volume 1, V1, which is large, but when we compress it, it is obvious that the volume will decrease. So our volume has decreased. You can see volume is decreased, but at the same time the pressure has increased. So it is obvious that during the compression process our pressure will increase. Now if we add the heat, so it is obvious that again pressure will increase. So you can see the increase in the pressure over here from 2 to 3, but at the same time the volume is constant because we are not adding any air or fuel during this process 2 to 3. So it is constant volume heat addition process. You can see the difference over here. It is not exactly the constant volume heat addition, but this process is somewhat similar to that of the constant volume, and we know the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature for the constant volume process. So that's why we assume that it is constant volume heat addition process. The next one is the power stroke. Now the air fuel mixture will burn and it will expand the piston. So next 3 to 4 process is the isentropic expansion. Then the last one is the exhaust process. So these are the four processes of the Otto cycle, right? That is for the petrol engines. This is the TS diagram for that. Process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. So 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are isentropic compression and isentropic expansion processes, while process 2 to 3 and 4 to 1 are constant volume process. You might have seen the video regarding how to calculate the efficiency of the Otto cycle. So which is 1 minus 1 upon R raised to K minus 1, where R is the compression ratio. What is compression ratio? It is the ratio of maximum volume to the minimum volume. So maximum volume for this process is at V1 and minimum volume is V2. As 4 to 1 process is similar, so V1 or V4 is the maximum volume and 2 to 3 is again constant volume. So V2 or V3 is the minimum volume. And K is the isentropic index. That is the ratio of Cp by Cv. We have seen that in the fifth chapter, energy analysis for the closed system. That is K is the isentropic index, that is Cp by Cv. Okay, specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume. Now the diesel cycle. The difference between Otto cycle and diesel cycle is that in the petrol engine we have the spark plug, but that spark plug is replaced by the fuel injector in case of the diesel cycle. If we talk about the theoretical cycle, the constant volume process, heat addition at constant volume process is replaced by heat addition at constant pressure process. Okay, so in case of the diesel cycle, during the process 1 to 2, at the start of the one, only air is introduced inside the cylinder. In case of the petrol engine, we consider that mixture of air and fuel is already present inside the cylinder. But in case of the diesel engine, only air is present inside the cylinder. So we compress the air, so air gets compressed over here. Now, process 2 to 3, that is the heat addition process. Now, during this process, fuel is injected in the form of a spray. Okay, and when that fuel, that is the diesel, it comes in contact with the high pressure high temperature air, it will burn, it will create the hot gases. So this is the process 2 to 3. Now we can see that during this 2 to 3 process in the diesel engine, our volume has been increased. The reason for this is that we are adding fuel in this particular cycle, while in case of the petrol engine we don't add any air or fuel, but in case of the diesel engine we add the fuel. Okay, that's why volume is increased. Okay, and the rest the processes are same. If you calculate the equation of efficiency for this, it will be 1 minus 1 upon R raised to K minus 1 into RC raised to K minus 1 divided by K into RC minus 1. Whereas R is the same compression ratio. RC is the cutoff ratio. What is cutoff ratio? It is the volume, it is the ratio of volume after heat addition to the volume before heat addition. Volume after heat addition means volume at point 3 and volume before heat addition means volume at point 2. So RC is equal to V3 by V2. As it is a constant pressure process, so this V3 by V2 is same as that of T3 by T2 if you use the ideal gas equation. Okay, so our cutoff ratio is T3 by T2 as well as V3 by V2, right? Now we will move towards the numericals. Okay, so let us understand the first numerical. An ideal Otto cycle has a compression ratio of 10.5, takes in air at 90 kilopascal and 40 degrees centigrade and is repeated 2500 times per minute. So over here, the compression ratio R is given as 10.5, pressure is given 90 kilopascal. So this is the pressure at point 1, intake pressure and intake temperature. Using the constant specific heat at room temperature, determine the thermal efficiency of this cycle. So we have to calculate the thermal efficiency and the rate of heat input if the cycle is to produce 90 kilowatt of the power. So first of all, let us understand this numerical. So see, in this particular numerical, compression ratio is given R, pressure P1 T1 is given, and one more sentence is given, and it is that using the constant specific heat at room temperature. Okay, so the meaning of this is that we need to take the values of Cp, Cv, and R at room temperature. Okay, so those values, please remember those values. That is, Cp is equal to 1.005 kilojoule per kg per Kelvin, Cv is equal to 0.718, R is equal to 0.287. So you need to use these three values whenever it is mentioned that use the constant specific heat values at the room temperature. Although if these values are not given, you need to assume these values with these correct values. Okay, Cp, Cv, and R. So with this, if you calculate the value of K, that is isentropic index, which is equal to Cp by Cv, it will come as 1.4. So you will observe that during this numericals, we are using the value of K, which is constant, as 1.4. The reason for that is that Cp and Cv are constant, so that's why K is constant as 1.4. Okay, if we are having any variation in the Cp, Cv value, then obviously the value of K will change. Okay, we need to calculate the thermal efficiency, okay, and rate of heat input. One more thing is given, that it is producing a power of 90 kilowatt. Okay, so we know the, so first of all, let us identify the cycle. It is Otto cycle. So we know the equation of efficiency for the Otto cycle, which is equal to 1 minus 1 upon R raised to K minus 1. The value of R is given, that is 10.5. Value of K, it is equal to Cp by Cv, which is 1.4. So it is R raised to 1.4 minus 1, that is 0.4. So you will directly get the efficiency of the Otto cycle, which is 60.9%. Okay, now we have to calculate Q in. So to calculate the Q in, power input is given, which is 92 kilowatt. So we know the another equation for the efficiency, which is equal to W net by Q in. So efficiency is known, net power is known, so the only unknown is Q in. So we can calculate the Q in by using this equation, which is 147.66 kilowatt. So it is the simple numerical, right? Let us understand the second numerical. An ideal Otto cycle has a compression ratio of 8 and takes in air at 95 kilopascal and 15 degrees centigrade. And the maximum cycle temperature is 1200 degrees centigrade. Determine the heat transferred to the cycle and rejected from the cycle, as well as the cycle's thermal efficiency. So let us understand what are the things which are given. Compression ratio is given, that is R, which is equal to 8. Initial pressure and temperature, that is P1 and T1 is given, and the maximum cycle temperature is given, which is 1200. So let us understand what is the maximum cycle temperature, and the cycle is again the Otto cycle. Okay, so let us understand the graph for the Otto cycle. This is the graph for the Otto cycle. You can see that initially at point 1, our air is at atmospheric pressure and temperature. After compression, the temperature will increase. After heat addition, again the temperature will increase. But during the expansion, obviously temperature will decrease, and during the exhaust, the temperature will decrease. So the maximum temperature will be after heat addition, that is at point 3. So this is given, that is maximum temperature is at point 3. So maximum temperature is given, which is T3, 1200 degrees centigrade. Okay, what we have to calculate? Q in and Q out, as well as the cycle's thermal efficiency. So first of all, just write down the given things. Okay, what we have to calculate? Q in, Q out, and the efficiency, right? So we know the equation of efficiency for the Otto cycle, that is 1 minus 1 upon R raised to K minus 1. After implementing that equation, put the value of R and the value of K. Again, I am taking the same value of K, that is 1.4. Unless and until it is mentioned to calculate the value of CPCV with the variation, you need to take the value of K as 1.4. Okay. Next, Q in and Q out. We know the equation of efficiency, W net by Q in. So net work is nothing but Q in minus Q out. So if we simplify this equation, it will be 1 minus Q out by Q in. We know the efficiency. So if you calculate any one of these, either Q in and Q out, you will get the second parameter. So to calculate that one parameter, the value of T3 is given. Okay. So we will calculate the value of Q in. The equation for Q in is Cv into T3 minus T2. Why? Because it is the constant volume process. So we have already studied that in the specific heat, okay, in the fourth chapter. So equation of Q in will be Cv into T3 minus T2 because Q in heat addition process is 2 to 3. That is the final temperature minus initial temperature. That's why it is T3 minus T2. We know the value of Cv, we know the value of temperature T3, the value of T2 is unknown. Okay, so we need to calculate the value of T2. So to calculate the value of T2, now the value of T1 is given. So use the equation for the process 1 to 2. So our process 1 to 2 is isentropic process. So for the isentropic process, the relationship between temperature and volume is T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to K minus 1. Okay. So in this case, temperature T1 is given, V1 by V2. We know that V1 by V2 is the ratio of maximum volume to the minimum volume, which is nothing but the compression ratio R, value of K again as 1.4. So you will get the value of temperature T2. Now you need to keep one thing in mind while solving the numericals for the IC engine. You have to use the values of temperature only in Kelvin. Okay, use the value of temperature in Kelvin. Okay, so now the reason for that, see, Cv multiplied by T3 minus T2, the unit for Cv is kilojoule per kg per Kelvin. So it is per Kelvin, so obviously we require the temperatures in Kelvin, right? So T2 we have calculated over here. Now let's just put the value of T2 over here. So you will get the value of Q in, that is heat transfer to the cycle. And by using the equation of efficiency, you will get the value of Q out, which is the only unknown, right? Now the next numerical is the compression ratio of an air standard the compression ratio of an air standard Otto cycle is 9.5. Prior to the isentropic compression process, the air is at 100 kilopascal, 35 degrees centigrade, and 600 centimeter cube. See, again, the numerical is for the Otto cycle. Compression ratio R is given, which is 9.5 prior to the isentropic compression process. So again, let us see the graph for Otto cycle. So isentropic compression is process 1 to 2. So prior to isentropic compression means 0.1. Okay. So this data is given for 0.1. Pressure is 100 kilopascal, temperature is 35, and volume is 600 centimeter cube. Temperature at the end of isentropic expansion process is 800 Kelvin. Now isentropic expansion is process 3 to 4. End of isentropic expansion means the temperature T4 is given as 800 Kelvin. Using the specific heat values at room temperature, determine highest temperature in the cycle. So we have already discussed that highest temperature means T3. Amount of heat transferred, Q in as well as Q out, and the thermal efficiency. Okay, so just write down the given things: compression ratio, pressure, volume, temperature, and the temperature at the end of expansion process T4, which is 800 Kelvin. Okay, so first of all, the simplest thing to calculate the efficiency, which we will calculate, that is 1 minus 1 upon R raised to K minus 1. This is the equation of efficiency for the Otto cycle. So we'll get the efficiency. Next one is T3 and Q in. Okay. So we can calculate either T3 first or Q in first. Okay. So before that, if you want to calculate Q in, that is Cv into T3 minus T2. So you require ultimately the value of T3. So initially we need to calculate the maximum temperature, that is T3. So to calculate this value of T3, the value of T4 is given. So it is obvious that we need to use the equation for process 3 to 4. So process 3 to 4 is again the isentropic process. So for the process 3 to 4, use the equation or use the relationship between temperature and volume. That is T3 by T4 is equal to V4 by V3 raised to K minus 1. Okay. So you will get the value of T3 with this relation. Just put this value of T3 in the final equation of Q in, that is Cv into T3 minus T2. So you will get the value of Q in. And if you want to calculate the value of Q out, it is Cv into T4 minus T1. Now over here to calculate the value of Q in, you require the value of T2. Again, T2 will be calculated by using the similar way as that of the second numerical. That is by using the relationship between process 1 to 2. That is T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to K minus 1. Okay. Or you can also use the equation of efficiency. If any one heat is known, you can calculate the alternate Q by using the equation of efficiency, because efficiency is known in this numerical. Otherwise, you can also use this particular equation. Okay. Now, the fourth numerical, second last numerical, an ideal diesel cycle has a compression ratio of 20 and cutoff ratio of 1.3. Determine the maximum temperature of the air and the rate of heat addition to this cycle when it produces 250 kilowatt of the power. The air is at 90 kilopascal and 15 degrees centigrade at the end of the suction stroke. See, type of the cycle, it is a diesel cycle. Compression ratio, that is R, is given, which is 20. Cutoff ratio is 1.3, which is RC. What is cutoff ratio? It is the ratio of volume after heat addition to the volume before heat addition. So cutoff ratio RC is 1.3. What we have to calculate? The maximum temperature, which is T3, which will remain the same for both auto as well as the diesel cycle, because after heat addition the temperature will increase in both the cycles. So we have to calculate temperature T3 and the rate of heat addition, that is Q in. Network is given 250 kilowatt. Okay, so it is, we have to calculate T3 and Q in. So it is better to calculate the value of efficiency first. Then with the help of efficiency equation, we can calculate the heat addition. Okay. So let us write down the given things and the required things. Okay. So use the equation of efficiency for the diesel cycle. Now the equation of efficiency for the diesel cycle is different. Value of R is 20. Value of RC is 1.3. Value of K, that is 1.4. Okay. So you will get the efficiency after calculation. You will get the efficiency of the diesel cycle. Now use the equation of efficiency, that is efficiency is equal to W net by Q in. So Q in you have to calculate. For that, net power is given, which is 250 kilowatts. So you will get the heat input amount of heat which needs to be added, so that the efficiency will be 68.11%, which is 367 kilowatt. Okay. Now the next one is T3. We have to calculate temperature T3. Now see, in the previous numericals, to calculate the value of T3, we can use the equation of Q in. That is Q in is equal to Cv into T3 minus T2. As this is the diesel cycle. So for the diesel cycle, process 2 to 3 is heat addition at constant pressure. So instead of, we can use Q in is equal to Cp into T3 minus T2. But when you use Cp into T3 minus T2, the unit for that is kilojoule per kg. But the unit for heat over here is kilowatt. So it means that you need to calculate the mass flow rate. Now we don't have the sufficient data to calculate the mass flow rate. So it is not feasible to use this equation of heat addition. That is Q in is equal to mCp delta T, because mass flow rate M is not given. Okay. So for that, we will use the different equation. Okay. So with the help of these given values, how can we calculate the value of temperature T3? See, with the help of the value of cutoff ratio. What is cutoff ratio? V3 by V2 as well as T3 by T2. Okay. If we use the ideal gas equation of air for the process 2 to 3, you will find out that T3 by T2 and V3 by V2 are same. for the constant pressure process. Okay, so it means that cutoff ratio is known T3, sorry, RC, and we can find out the value of temperature T2. So T3 is equal to T2 into RC. So just find out the value of temperature at point 2 with the help of isentropic equation for the process 1 to 2, and just put this value, you will get the maximum temperature in the cycle. Okay, now the last numerical. An ideal diesel engine has a compression ratio of 20 and uses air as a working fluid. The state of the air at the beginning of the compression process is 95 kilopascal and 20 degrees centigrade. If the maximum temperature in the cycle is not to exceed 2200 Kelvin, determine the thermal efficiency. Compression ratio is given, that is 20. Type of the cycle, that is the diesel cycle. Then at the beginning of compression, means at point 1, pressure and temperature, you can see the pressure which is somewhat near to the atmospheric, so it is obvious that it will be at point 1, because at point 2, 3 and 4 the pressure will be higher than the atmospheric, because we are compressing, we are adding the heat, so that's why the pressure will increase. Again, the temperature is somewhat similar to that of the atmospheric temperature, right? This is P1 and T1. Maximum temperature 2200 Kelvin, that is T3 is given, which is 2200 Kelvin. We have to calculate the thermal efficiency. Okay, so we do have the equation of thermal efficiency, but to calculate the thermal efficiency of the diesel cycle, we require three values: R, K, and RC. We have the value of R, which is 20, that is the compression ratio. Value of RC is not given, which we have to calculate. Then we can calculate the efficiency. Value of temperature, sorry, value of specific heat ratio, that is K, which is 1.4. So we need to calculate the cutoff ratio RC, which is T3 by T2. So for this, value of T3 is given 2200 Kelvin. Okay, so we have to calculate the value of T2. Again, to calculate the value of T2, T1 is given. So it is obvious that we will use the equation for the process 1 to 2. That is T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to K minus 1. V1 by V2 is our compression ratio, which is 20. So you will get the value of T2 from this relation. Once you get the value of T2, calculate the cutoff ratio by using this equation. Okay, once you get the cutoff ratio, put these values in this equation, and all the values are known. The only unknown will be the efficiency. Then you will get the efficiency of the diesel engine. Okay, so these are some of the basic numericals of the IC engine chapter. In the coming time, I will share one more assignment to you regarding the numericals of the IC engine. With the help of these 5 numericals, okay, you have to solve those assignments. And if you face any problem to solve those numericals of the assignments, you can contact me at any time. Okay.